Offensively, I feel like we're right where we need to be at camp. Obviously, there's always room to improve. Had a good practice, just got off the practice field right now. The main thing that you want is guys learning and then retaining, and I feel like we're doing that offensively at all positions, and then staying healthy. That's what camp's all about. And we've been here, so they know what to expect. We've got a couple new coaches, but I feel like we're right where we need to be.
Coach, how's the backup quarterback job going? It looks like Malik's been pretty steady there, but really it looks like maybe there's a little more competition for that third spot.
Yeah, you're right there. KJ's 1, Malik is 2 right now. He's had all the 2 reps, and he hadn't let that go. Malik's a special athlete, and he puts pressure on KJ, and that's what we want. The third spot, we've got 3 guys that are really handling that with Jones, Renfro, and Coley. All those guys are getting reps, and they're all different. There's different abilities. That the tough thing with fall camp is, unlike the spring. In the spring, you can throw a bunch of guys out there with a bunch of reps. Right now we're getting ready to beat Rice, so they're limited in the opportunities that they have on the field. So they got to make the most of them, which is, a lot of times is hard. To be able to get in rhythm and be on the field and really get lathered up. So it's difficult. We understand that, but all 3 of those guys are still competing.
It's a pretty rare thing to have as many starters back as you do, but then replace your quarterback. How does that help you going into the season, having so much experience back, particularly the line?
Yeah, and now that's what I was going to say. Up front, having that experience back, it's just huge. We had an O-line change with Coach Kennedy, and he was here in the spring and knows, obviously our expectations and how he's going to coach those guys. So he's done a tremendous job with them, and I think they've really like the change with Coach Kennedy. I feel like that room's in a great spot right now, but we've got a lot of returning guys. Obviously when you lose a guy like Felipe, and you're going to feel that, and it was great that we had a spring without him and get those quarterbacks out there, and those guys are all chomping at the bit and they're all ready to contribute. But I feel like we got a host of guys that are very capable, and we just got to continue to work this fall camp.
Coach, we know about Traylon Burks, obviously, but beyond him, how is the wide receiver group coming along?
Yeah, coming along strong. Feel really good about that group. Coach Guyton, our receivers coach, has done a tremendous job with them. I think the biggest progress we've had in that room is just physicality in the blocking. I love the way that he's put that as an emphasis, and we've had some very physical practices, and a lot of times when you think physicality, you're thinking all those guys that are in the core. It's been physical on the perimeter, and those guys have done a tremendous job with that because it's so important for our offense and what we do. And then having the knowledge on the football field and with seeing the signals, playing fast, having to process things quickly. I feel really good about the receiver room. Obviously, Burks is a leader in there, but you've got some other guys that have played some that are back, with Davion Warren. He looks healthy. Trey Knox has been out there competing with Tyson Morris, and you've got a host of other young guys that we think are going to be really good.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Warren Thompson? I know you kind of knew him there and were familiar, and he came here. Tell us a little bit more about Warren.
Yeah, no, I ain't no kind of to it. I spent an entire year with him. I know Warren Thompson well, and there's a reason why he's here. Warren is an incredible athlete, a really good kid, soft-spoken person, and really willing to learn. We're so happy to have him here. And, he's had a nagging injury for most of fall camp, and he's now really starting to get healthy, and you see it. He's very hard to cover. He's got great quickness. He's a big body guy. He's got great range. He's got to get a little bit better blocking on the perimeter and just knowing exactly what to do. And things happen fast. Coach Odom and the defense are flying around with a lot of different looks. So he's had to process that, but I like where he's at, and he's going to definitely provide some depth for us.
Dow Long is obviously a guy who knows a lot about Arkansas, but this is the first time he's coaching college kids after being in the pros for so long. What are you seeing from Dow coaching those guys? Kind of how do you think he's made that transition from the NFL to coaching college kids?
Yeah, Dow's a wonderful coach, great man. We're obviously really blessed to have him in our offensive room. Now, he was at Penn State last year, so he was in college. Now, he was not full-time, so he wasn't able to coach on the field. But he got back in the college football game, so he kind of knew what to expect from all parts as far as recruiting and everything else. Dow's very knowledgeable. He knows a lot of things about football, and it hasn't taken him long to learn our offense. We try to pride ourselves on being simple, so the players can see things and retain things easily. And obviously a guy like Dow who's been involved with football his entire life, he's picked it up rather quickly. So tight ends are doing a really good job, and that room's in good shape right now.
Yeah, the fact he was an NFL coordinator, does that add to, can you glean things from him in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of our coaches, everybody comes from different backgrounds. It doesn't matter if you're an 8th grade football coach, you're going to have ideas. And, if I'm the coordinator and I'm, not opening that up for other ideas, then I'm stuck in my rut. So we're always, adapting and ready for change. And Dow obviously brings a wealth of knowledge and ideas that can help us.
What was your assessment of KJ's spring, and then what he's improved on since spring, and what's a good completion percentage number for him to shoot for?
Yeah, in spring, I thought KJ did a nice job overall. This summer, the biggest thing that we wanted to work on is continuing to work on his mobility and his accuracy in practice. Whenever KJ had some opportunities last year to play, and then when we had scrimmages in the spring, he was very accurate. And when we were in practices, he wasn't as accurate. I think that he's really worked on this summer with Coach Walker and our strength program, getting him stronger and physically more capable. But I really like where he's at from a practice standpoint with his accuracy. With our offense and what we do, I'd like for him to be over 65%. And if we're doing that, then we're hitting pretty good.
You mentioned 3 wide receivers a minute ago after Burks, but I'm curious, after this next scrimmage, because you've rotated a lot of guys in there, is this the time to start paring things down a little bit more after this next scrimmage and say, okay, these are our next wide receivers after Burks, I guess?
Yeah, and we've been doing that the entire fall camp. I mean, honestly, every single day is a competition. I know for a lot of times for media, it's the big deal with having this scrimmage, and things are really going to shape out after that. We're doing that daily, and the players know that. Every single day is a competition. You're fighting for your job, just like I am. So that's the expectation. You got to come ready to go and give your best every single day because somebody's trying to take your spot. I think our competition in that room is very high. Like I said, there's a lot of guys that are trying to get on the field and eager to do that. The good thing is hopefully that'll mean more guys can play. Because I think that, if we can stay fresh at the tempo that we play at and have fresh guys on the field, I think it can help us offensively. And as long as those guys keep progressing in the offense, then you're going to see more players on the field.
We haven't seen Traylon Smith out there, but Raheem Sanders been working a lot with the first group, and then A.J. Green didn't get to scrimmage last time. How
That's
important
right.
is this scrimmage for him?
Yeah, it's huge. He's back healthy. Today was AJ's 4th practice, so being an 18-year-old true freshman and playing college football, things happen fast. And he came back and was rusty yesterday in his practice. And today, we were spotters, so we didn't have pads. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big day. We'd like to see what he can do and how he can protect the football. It's going to be huge for him getting hit by guys that, aren't always real happy on the other side of the ball. So, we'll see how he plays. I like what he's done. Traylon will be out there tomorrow. I don't know if how much we're going to give him. We're going to back up on a couple of guys that have had some things nagging on them. So Rocket will see a lot of carries. Rocket's done a really nice job for us.
Coach, when Sam was in here with us last Saturday, he mentioned some pass pro things. I'm wondering what your take is on what you saw last scrimmage and what you want to see better tomorrow.
Yeah, we just got to be more firm. I think the communication has gotten so much better from last week. Coach Odom and what they're doing defensively, they're throwing a lot of things at some of our young guys, and that's really what's gotten them. You've got some kids that have come in here and they know football 101, and they're trying to get their master's degree in 10 days. So it's been really tough on some of those guys. It's been there's a lot of things flying around. They're having to react fast, and then at some point you actually have to block a guy. And I think our D-line, our linebackers have done a tremendous job, and our safeties. So it's great getting a lot of looks. And, Coach Kennedy, Coach Smith, our running back coach, and Coach Loggins, our tight ends coach, I think they've done a nice job of this week really getting our guys in position to be, able to protect our quarterback in the scrimmage.
When KJ was with us the first time, I think he said he was 247 and wanted to be around 235. What's a good weight? What have you seen from his mobility and stuff and the optimal weight for him?
Yeah, and I've told him since last spring, I think 235 is the best weight for him. He's now under 245, but I tell you what, he can run and he can move, and he's got a first step. So, I'm not really concerned with it. A lot of times there's wants and there's needs. We need him to be really, really good. I don't care if he's 285 as long as he's dropping dimes on people and getting away from pressure. So, I like where he's at. He feels comfortable. He knows that I would like him to be a little bit less, but dadgum, he's a big kid. He's going to be tough to bring down, and he's still very active with his feet. So that's kind of the way his body is. KJ's a big guy, and I'm proud of where he's at right now.
What has Ketron Jackson's camp been like, and is he making the strides that you'd hoped you'd see to this point?
Ketron's been really, really good. If you look at the spring to right now, offensively, he's without a doubt the most improved football player on the offense. He had a drop today, had another phenomenal catch today. Ketron is, we knew from a recruiting standpoint, very, very talented kid, 25-foot, long jumper as a junior in high school. He had a lot of pop, obviously had a ton of offers, and he was nagged when he got here with an injury. He was an early enrollee kid, and now he's healthy, and he's the Ketron we thought he was going to be. So he's just got to continue to grow and progress, and you'll see him on Saturdays.
Ken, you mentioned the defense a minute ago. Those safeties, they talk about being pretty interchangeable back there. What have you seen from the safeties? And then, Catalan, he's obviously the guy back there. What have you seen from the safeties in general? What do you think going against Jalen Catalan?
J-Cat's one of the best safeties I've ever seen, and I'm getting to see him on a daily basis. The kid flies to the football, and a lot of times you talk about quarterbacks and their accuracy. He is an accurate hitter. He does not miss, not very often at all. He wraps up. He diagnoses things very quickly. Obviously, he's watching the same offense every single day, which is, 13 practices and now 13 walkthroughs. So he's got a little bit of a key of what we're doing, but the sucker can play fast, and he hits you, and he hits you hard. I love the way he plays, and those other guys have done a nice job, but he's definitely the bell cow.
So we're going to see more of a running quarterback this year, but KJ can't get tackled during camp. So do you wean him into the playbook in terms of how much you're running against Rice? How does that work when you go from no hitting and then bam, guys are taking you down?
Yeah, it's a transition. It just is, and you can't recreate it. So these kids have been playing football their whole lives, so they understand what's different whenever you're getting hit. It's all about ball protection, So, I don't want to say that we're just going to run him a bunch. That's not what we want to do offensively. But sometimes in our play calls, things happen pre-snap, post-snap that are going to allow him to carry the football. I like the fact that you got a guy back there that if things do break down, they can create. And those are plays that, God gave him the ability to do it, and he does it. So those are the things that I'm more excited about instead of just straight called runs. Obviously, situationally, then, you will run him. But, yeah, I'm very excited to see him get out there. And, a lot of times for kids that haven't been hit and are used to being hit, and they want to be hit, They want to have that first tackle. It kind of knocks the rust off of them. Okay, I'm ready to go. So I necessarily don't love that, but, kids want to play, and, they've been playing the game the whole life, so just got to keep them healthy.
From what we see, Rocket might be the first backup running back after Traylon. How ready is he, and how much do you think y'all can lean on Rocket?
Yeah, Coach Smith has done a great job with him. He's a 226-pound kid that can really run. When he gets in the open field, he's a home run back. He can go all the way. Very, very tough player. He runs in between the tackles. He's got a really quick step where he can get out of traffic as well. Arm tackles aren't necessarily going to bring him down. And he's done a great job this week with his pass protection. Like I talked about earlier, the communication wasn't exactly there. And that was a point of emphasis for us this week, and Rocket's done a nice job with that. And he also he's got good hands to catch the ball out of the backfield. We recruited him not knowing if he was going to be a receiver or a running back, so he's got receiver hands. I'm really excited about him in the future that he's going to have here at Arkansas.
I think Coach Pittman said after the scrimmage that Tykees Crawford had worked his way into the two deep. What kind of camp has he had, and has he progressed kind of like how you had hoped?
Yeah, Tykees, he's been up and down, and we kind of thought that he would be that way from a physical ability standpoint. he's got all the tools, and we're excited about the future and what he can be. And Tykees he's going to keep working to be what he can be. He's got the chances to be an NFL player and an All-American top player in college, and I think he'll get there as long as he puts his mind to it. But I love the progression and how he's gotten better each and every day. And today he took another step in the right direction.
Maybe I can make a two-parter. Hey, first off, I know you're hunkered down here, but I was watching ESPN the other night. They showed Felipe with like about a 60-yard run for the Falcons against whoever they were playing. It was an exhibition game. Did you have to see that? And just wonder what you thought about that.
Yeah, we did see it. We actually had late-night meetings, and we knew Felipe. We had FaceTimed him in the quarterback room earlier that week, showed him everybody, and he was all excited, and we were all ready for it. We got done with all of our film, put it up, and we actually got to see that as quarterbacks, and then we were all talking about it. So we're extremely excited for him. We thought he played really well. I thought he got hampered with some penalties that hurt him offensively, but I hear he's doing really good, and we've been in contact with him. Really proud of him.
Rodgers has moved over there to tight end. I was just wondering what I guess precipitated that, and how you think he's doing over there.
Made a great catch today, and it was Landon really came to us, and wanting to help the team, and felt like his physical ability and stature, he felt like he could help the team with a little bit of a stacked QB room. So really excited about what he can do athletically for us.
Yeah, it seems like he has the size.
Yeah, he's got a great frame. He's a 6'4", 215-pound kid right now. He can put on another 15, 20 pounds. I think he can help us for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Kyle. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
The start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts, head on over to Bet Online and start playing today. That's Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts.